I always thought my channel was a weird place. One minute I'm serious, the next I'm doing funny voices to get a laugh out of people. Well, today's going to be a bit of a serious video, so here we go. Alright, so a lot of people have decided to make their next SJW project to fight for equality in the homosexual side of Mass Effect Andromeda. And since I don't have the time to make a freaking 30-minute video explaining how social constructs and preconceived notions work on a very old male-driven society, let's just head through the cliff notes, shall we? You see, now here, right here, is an image that was on Kotaku. It shows all romance options in every Mass Effect game, divided into sections of male, female, and homosexual based on the gender specific. Now, you can see here that the male-on-male action is extremely limited when compared to the rest of the series' sexual exploits. So, now we ask the question of why? Is it because there are more lesbians or bisexual females than gay bisexual men in the world? Well, doing a bit of research, I found that contrary to the hopes of men everywhere, there are a larger amount of gay men in the world than gay females. Now, this information is taken from several sources, one being the Exodus Global Alliance, where they divide the homosexual ratios by first world countries for an in-depth approach, to the US Census, where they did a survey from God knows years ago, to even the Washington Post. And granted, there are more sources, but these are the names that most people recognize, so I'm going to use them. And averaging the information from these sites, the difference between gay men and gay females in the world is only about 0.7 to 1.0, so at the most it would only be a 1 point difference. In our world right now, there are more gay bisexual men than gay bisexual females. Since Mass Effect is trying to pander to the SJW stuff, why do they have so few male gay options than the female gender, when clearly there are more gay men who might go out and purchase their games? And once again, going too deeply into this will get very boring. The reason why less options are available in Mass Effect is because the world is, and probably will be for a long time, run by straight men. And a lot of straight men find lesbians attractive. Also, lesbian imagery can bring in more money than gay male imagery. And when these two things compound on each other, one becomes normalized faster in society than the other. And here on the screen, I'm going to post up an example for you. Now, when you see two girls walking down the street holding hands, for a straight man, this usually sets off no alarms and he pays it little to no mind. Now, whether this is because females have had a more close-knit society among each other in the past, I'm not sure. I don't want to go into that. But if that same man were to see two young boys of any age, let alone two grown men walking down the street holding hands, well, suddenly red flags begin to pop up in their mind. And what I mean by that is that it is something that immediately makes people take notice. And it's not like I am the only one who would say such a thing, when you can just click here on YouTube and find a whole bunch of social experiments about men performing semi-erotic actions in public, and you would see the look that the public would gaze upon them. And since people take notice to such a degree, that usually would mean that it hasn't been normalized in our society yet. And that's not to mention the comfort levels of the people who are actually making the game. So, you there listening to this video, I am going to assume that you are male, and I want you to imagine that your boss at work or your teacher at your school told you that your new job title or your new project in school was that they wanted you to simulate homosexual acts with your coworker or your fellow student. Now, granted, I know that this is an extreme example, but as I said, I'm kind of pressed for time here, so let's go with that. If your boss or your teacher told you to go grab another coworker or student and simulate homosexual acts with them, how many of you would not take offense to that? because most straight-laced men would be heavily opposed to such an idea. In fact, I'm sure if you were to do such a thing in school, that teacher would be fired immediately. Lord knows the parents would be up their ass real fast. And I understand that people want to normalize it so we can stop oppression in a society of homosexual relationships. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that even though there are more gay men in the world than gay females, it is the female relationships that are usually placed front and center for advertising and marketing in a way to show diversity rather than the male perspective. Quite frankly, because two guys getting it on still freaks a lot of people out. Anyway, there you are, a bit of honesty that I'm sure not too many people will like. Gay men are still shunned by society, whereas gay women are accepted more. I'm not saying that they aren't shunned, but they're shunned on, well, they're just shunned less. Anyway, I'm going to go back to making my comedy shite videos until, the next time I decide to make a semi-serious video. Because, well, doing this is quite out of character for me. Anyway, you all take care, and, well, next time I'll probably make a video talking about dicks swinging around or something. That sounded kind of gay, didn't it? Oh well, I'm going to work.